Greetings. My name is Obafemi Origuwa, and the purpose of this video is to share with you my own approach and method for helping people discover the pathway to a more meaningful life. I am an educator, a counselor, and a babalawo capacities. It is my mission and my life's work to help people find meaning in everything that they do, so that life can be significant and fulfilling, and we enjoy the sense of belonging that God Almighty intended for every person to have as a member of the human family. From the Yoruba perspective, the way that a person comes into contact with the meaning of his or her life is through the name that the parents or the community give to that person once the child is born. And so it's only fitting that I give you some insight into how my own name came into existence and the impact that it has had on making my life meaningful. I am an African American. I was born here in the United States, and as were all of my ancestors for at least 4 generations on my mother's side and my father's side. And so, as such, I am a member of what I consider the subliminal African family tree. And I say subliminal because in the New World, there were different, it wasn't convenient or even possible for someone to call their son or their daughter by an African name. And so what the Africans had to do was pass on the values and the intentions of traditional naming, so that their children could, at least have the values, or they could pick up those values one way or another. In my own case, and my family passed on names that were the names of older family members. So in my case, I was named after my grandmother's grandfather, who was a holy man, a leader, and an organizer in his community. He established a church over 100 years ago. That church still stands today, and it served as a beacon, as the church has in the African American community for at least 100 years. And so that was my first name. My middle name was my father's name, and my last name was given from my mother's married name. So my mother had married, and she passed on her married name to myself and to my sister. And although I accepted all the names and I embraced them all as a part of my identity, from middle adolescence, I was, my preteens, I started to become aware of the fact that it wasn't my name. So we'll fast forward a bit to the year 1989. I had gone to a couple years of college at Howard University, and I was on my way back, transferring to another university, and I decided to take a break. And in that break, I decided to travel. A friend of mine and I created a bike tour for ourselves, and we rode bikes across Europe. We started off in London, and we work. I never will forget approaching a big sign that read W. Wells and Son. Those were my initials. And it was a beautiful